Hello and welcome to the Arise interview, where we take time to reflect on the big stories from the news and on the fortunes and affairs of the world in an hour of conversation with commentators, analysts and thought leaders. I'm Charles Anyegolu. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, the latest upsurge of violence in Nigeria is taking place in the southeast zone, fueled by political and economic undercurrents. Disorder appears to be slowly taking hold, burning through the region like an avenging angel, and even the governor of Imo State, one of the key states in the southeast, has himself not been spared, falling victim to the turmoil and chaos. Amid the death, destruction and violence, we ask, is the southeast sliding inexorably into anarchy? We'll speak to a pastor and former member of the House of Representatives who is from Imo State and is a staunch supporter of Governor Hope Uzodimma. And later, an urgent warning from Nigeria's Academy of Medicine Specialities. Beware of a third wave of the coronavirus hitting the country on the back of the record number of infections and deaths in India. The Academy says they found sequences of the Indian COVID variant in Nigeria with characteristics that could create havoc in the country. We'll speak to a member of the Academy and assess the urgency of this warning from the specialists. Coming up. Now, across Nigeria, every 10th young citizen is officially unemployed. The social contract has been broken, insecurity is on the rise, and the people don't trust their governments. There is civil unrest, organized crime and armed militancy, with robberies and kidnappings becoming pervasive in many parts of the country. The latest to be set ablaze is the southeast region, with Imo State as its epicenter. Members of the proscribed separatist group, the Indigenous People of Biafra, or IPOB, along with their armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, have been engaging in pitched battles with government troops allied with the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma. It's led to the death of one of the commanders of ESN and a retaliatory, vengeful attack on the home of the governor. On the fringes of that titanic political struggle, another epic conflict is taking place between armed herdsmen and equally armed local groups. What on earth is going on in the southeast of Nigeria?
A group of hoodlums attempted to attack the residence, the country home of His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma in Omuma. They attempted to attack it and probably with the aim of raising it down. But fortunately, very gallant security operatives attached to the governor's house were able to repel the attempt, and so they did not succeed. Preliminary investigations point to the fact that the thing was politically sponsored. So, but no conclusions yet.
Everybody is fearing. Everybody is fearing, and we are about to see the situation of market. Nobody.
The situation in the community now, are people scared? Like we are living in fears. We are living in fears. As you are looking at me now, my children has even fled my village to other neighboring communities. So we are against this hoodlum.
Very worrying developments there. Well, for more on the deteriorating security situation in Imo State, I'm joined now in the studio by the pastor and former member of the House of Representatives, Reverend Dr. Uche Nwole, who is from Imo State and is seen as a staunch supporter of Governor Hope Uzodimma. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you.
And you are the pastor of a particular church that you wanted to tell us about.
Yes, I'm the caretaker general of Christ Reconciliation Center, CRC, UK, Nigeria.
Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on. Why do you think insecurity is suddenly on the rise in the southeast in general and Imo State in particular, your state?
Well, it's not only my state. I know that my state is it's where the storm is at the moment. But that said, I know that also It is as a result of the social contract, the decay in the social contract of the constitution of our country for the youths and the future generations of this country that has not been kept by the federal government. And everywhere, every state, every nook and cranny, local government, councils, and everywhere, you find youths that went to school that don't have jobs. You find people that have finished school 5-10 years, they are still looking for jobs. They are doing menial jobs that ought not to do. So that is why there's this rise of insecurity. Because when they simply put that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So when a youth that is supposed to be engaged is not engaged, he will do whatever that comes around him. It's very easy for him to be induced in a thing that he doesn't want to do. So that is one of the major causes of what we're experiencing today.
Right. Beyond the broad analysis that you've just given us, I want to focus specifically on Imo State, which is your state. There have been a number of incidents recently that have shown clearly that there is growing altercation between one particular group and the government of Imo State. What is your assessment of that particular situation?
Well, I must tell you the truth as far as I'm concerned. The group that are being referred to are the IPOB group. They are my kinsmen, they are my people, and I cannot deny the fact that they are my people. The other position is the governor. At every given time, a governor is given the responsibility of keeping safe the lives and properties of his citizens. And he's not doing anything outside that in what he is doing.
So why is there conflict?
The conflicts are not only in Imo State.
No, I know it's not only in Imo State, but
Yes.
I'm talking about Imo State. Why is there conflict between the government and IPOB and ESN?
Well, I must tell you, ESN, as a security outfit that was set up, it is only the approach that I don't agree. The approach of that type of confrontation that is going to lead to the lives of Nigerians. Whether members of IPOB, they're Nigerians. Whether the security agencies, they're Nigerians. Blood flows inside them.
Well, you're not answering the question. There is a conflict going on between IPOB and the government of Hope Uzodimma. You support Hope Uzodimma. What is your analysis? What's your assessment of the state of play between the two sides? Why is there conflict between IPOB and Hope Uzodimma?
I must specifically state clearly here.
Right.
I don't see that as you say it. I am an Imo citizen, and I know what is happening in my state.
Right. So what is happening in your
What
state?
is happening in my state, I can tell you.
Right.
Yes, there are the crises that are known everywhere in the Southeast, Imo State inclusive. But the one in Imo particularly are things that are induced, conflicts that are induced by people with different interests who do not want to see that the APC government will settle down to do the work that they've been posted there to do. So those interest groups are the people that are fueling all these skirmishes from one corner to the other. The governor is doing himself the best he can. The only thing I know that I can specifically state,
Right.
IPOB, what they stand for and what they do for the Igbos and what their beliefs are not far from truth. I'm an Igbo man, and whatever agitations they are fighting for, the only area I am interested in is that peace must reign in every cranny and part of our Nigeria, out of our country, Imo State inclusive. That all we need to do is to enter into a dialogue. I want us to enter into a dialogue to douse the tension in the Southeast. And I, as a Reverend gentleman, I am prepared to go extra miles in starting such a dialogue, because I want peace to reign.
Yeah, but you can't have dialogue when you haven't identified what the problem is. I've been trying to pin you down to tell me what the issue is. It's not about speaking for or against the governor or for or against IPOB. It's about what is actually happening on the ground, the real facts as you know it.
Now, if you listen to the security agencies, they will always tell you that they are still investigating. They've not pinned it down to any direct
Yeah, but you
body.
already said a moment ago that the reason why there is conflict is
I'm
because there are elements who are creating conflict.
That is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
But until the final investigation and report comes out, nobody can say for sure that this is the actual thing that is on ground. But speaking from my personal experience and what I deduce from the system around me, I see people that are fueling such agitations against the government.
Okay, let's take it point by point.
Go ahead.
One of the points is that It was attacks on the Eastern Security Network, ESN, that led to retaliatory attacks on police stations, as well as what we've now seen with the governor. The governor went on air to say that he brought the police to go after the ESN people, and that's what led to the attack on his home. Is that something that you agree with?
I very much disagree at that. I don't see the governor making such a statement. I know that people have misquoted and said things like that about him, but I don't see him saying that directly. But I know that the enemies of government could insinuate, could say or act or do.
Well, anything. He either said it or he didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not an insinuation.
No, but what I'm trying to say, in effect, is that even when they attacked the correctional center, even when they attacked the police headquarters, the governor said it was not IPOB. He made it very, very clear, and I believe him. There were a bunch of hoodlums that did what they needed to do, and they had their insiders and helpers here and there, everywhere, including the system, even in the government. Right. They have their aides.
So let me be clear. You think that insecurity, what is happening in Imo State at the moment, is driven and motivated by politics. Is that right?
Yes, to a great extent, yes, it is.
Right, okay. Do you know who is behind all that?
Well, you agree with me that the present governor came from God. He didn't just come from man nor anybody. It was an act of God that brought him to office. Okay,
and we're going into areas that I'm afraid I can't.
Okay, fine.
I can't discuss because I don't know. Well, all I know is that he went to court and he won, that's why he's there.
That is why.
Do you think there is enough reflection taking place in Imo State and the Southeast about this rise in insecurity?
Well, to a large extent, we, the citizens, are meeting with our elders and our people to see how we can, because these are our sons and daughters being killed every day.
Absolutely.
And we can't allow ourselves to see our young citizens being murdered by day. I know that what is going on in the Southeast is not different from what is going in the Northeast or different from what is going in the Northwest. I have seen situations where the mighty Allah was giving 100 billion to down bandits. Why can't the same treatment be given to the people in the Southeast? That's my argument. If those people, the bandits there that are killing people, many people can be given 100 billion naira of our taxpayers' money. Why go kill these people? Why don't you put them into dialogue as well?
Well, I saw the governors of the East, and I think a lot of other people saw them setting up this group called Ebube Agu. I mean, that is supposed to be in reaction to this growing insecurity, isn't it?
I agree with you. Up north as well, they've set up their own security outfit. But that doesn't rule out that the bandits, the herdsmen, are not attacking on a daily basis.
All right, stay with us. We're going to come back and talk with you some more. You're watching the Arise interview. Plenty more still ahead as we continue our chat about the growing problem of insecurity in Nigeria's southeast region. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Charles Aniagolu. The latest upsurge of violence in Nigeria is taking place in the southeast zone, fueled by political and economic undercurrents. Disorder appears to be slowly taking hold, burning through the region, and even the governor of Imo, one of the key states in the southeast, has not been spared, falling victim to the turbulence and chaos. His home was attacked at the weekend by armed men who set the building on fire but failed to burn it down. But video from the scene showed several cars ablaze, and 3 police officers were reported to have been killed in the attack. So why is the southeast, which used to be a relatively peaceful part of Nigeria, sliding into violence and anarchy? And with me in the studio, the pastor and former member of the House of Representatives, Reverend Uche Nwole, who is from Imo State and is a supporter of Governor Hope Uzodimma. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us. Now, before we went on break, you were talking about, you were insistent on focusing on solutions.
That's right.
To the problem. One of the things that's been adduced as a potential solution is finding people with the moral authority to bring together people in the southeast with a commonality of purpose. Who do you think has the moral authority in the southeast to do that?
Well, I can tell you that most of the governors, they have disfavored their people. But today, as a clergy that I am, I know that in the southeast we have body of bishops, we have body of pastors, and union of clergies that I can tell you authoritatively that we have the sympathy of our people, because we are servants of God and we pray every day, whether for the good people or the bad people. We want everybody, because they are welcome from one Father, our Lord and our Creator. So for that, we do not want any innocent bloods to be spilled. We do not want even these people that are out there in the bushes to be killed. We've talked about the reasons why there was rise in all of these young men enrolling themselves because of lack of job. When the federal government fails in granting opportunities for these people to work, they don't have any other alternative than to do what they can do to help themselves. And one of those things is for them to enter into this kind of vices, which is not helpful in any way or form, because it will only bring, cutting down one's life prematurely, which we don't wish to happen. So today we are praying that if we're given the opportunity, like I said, I am prepared to go ahead to solicit, to beg our people, to beg our sons, to beg our daughters. They are rightly aggrieved for their agitations. I will say
that's understandable.
Yes, they are rightly aggrieved, and I agree with them. Right. What all their protests are for. But what I'm trying to say is that there are better solutions. There are better ways to handle them. We know that yes, the people, they claim the politicians that they've elected in the past had failed to get what they ought to get for the people, and therefore the youths, the younger ones, feel that because they have failed, they want to take arms. They want to do it their own way with their own understanding. But that being said, I believe that there is no problem that does not have a solution, and I also believe that Southeast will definitely come under control.
Well, one of the reasons why the ESN, ostensibly the reasons they gave for arming themselves, is that they were fighting off what they perceived to be the arrival of herdsmen into their territory.
That's correct.
And they felt they had to defend the land. So the ostensible reason is to fight off an outside invader, or at least the perception of an outside invader.
That's right.
But now it's turned into an internal conflict.
Well, to be quite honest, I did never in any way or form support armed banditry. The course that IPOB is doing, they don't enter into stealing, they don't enter into invasions, they don't enter into robbery. Anything that they represent is that belief and that fight for their rights and the defense of their people from these herdsmen.
Right, so are you saying that IPOB does not stand for, because the perception is that they stand for secession. Are you saying that that's not what they stand for, that instead they stand for justice?
The secession we are asking for, something led to that agitation for secession. Right. It is the reasons that led to the secession that we must discuss, we must talk about. The Southeast has a big stake in the country from the independent era, and there is no way they can be sidelined. There is no way they can suffer what they're suffering, and that is why that there is no government that will come and say that they're doing the right thing by maltreating a particular tribe or depriving them of their constitutional rights to aspire to a certain position, to have inclusion in every appointment that is being done. It is ludicrous at the least. So I believe that their agitation, their protest for secession, something led to it. And as elder statesmen that we are, it is our duty to, when you flog a kid, you bring the kid back with another hand. It's our duty to call them to a round table, sit them down. If we can negotiate with armed bandits, if we can send money, taxpayers' money, 100 billion to pay them to help to stop the bandits that are killing innocent people. They are not agitating for rights of any citizens. These ones are not in any way killing innocent people. They are agitating for the rights to say we want to be treated equally as Nigerians.
So who has the moral authority, as I asked before, to bring people together in the Southeast with a commonality of purpose? Because it has to be someone, not just, bishops and priests or whatever, they can certainly be part of it, but it's got to coalesce around someone who has the capacity to bring people together. Names of people like Emeka Anyoku have been mentioned.
That's correct.
People like Cardinal Arinze have been mentioned. The likes of Okonjo Iweala and so on. Because we're not talking about a national thing, we're talking about an internal issue. What is your reaction to those people being mentioned?
I very much welcome the names, because these are Igbo men that have held positions of repute, and they have their integrity intact.
And they're respected.
They are respected as well.
Right.
So I think in the light of those people, if they include the clergy, for us to hold prayers, because prayers can counter anything, any situation at all. Even the black cloud that is covering everywhere that we see spiritually every day, we are praying very hard for to fall in place, practically here. So what we are saying is that if those kind of people are put together, with the help of us, the clergy, we can come together and speak to our sons and daughters. We can come together to assure them that the agitation is not for nothing, that we agree with them, but we must have to do it the right way, legitimately.
Right. And are there any moves in that direction that you're aware of?
Yes, I'm aware of that, that there are bodies in Igbo land that are talking and meeting to see how we can approach these people, get their leader, who is Nnamdi Kanu, our son, to also organize these people so that we can come together as a people, because nobody can fight alone. We must be together in everything that we are doing.
Do you think it was right for the federal government to prescribe IPOB?
Initially, I can tell you, right here on this live TV, that what they did by prescribing them when they were not armed, when they weren't doing anything, was very, very wrong. When an armed bandit, armed gangs are there terrorizing our people, killing them daily.
So you think that's become a sort of agent provocateur?
That's right. That's right. That's exactly the truth. That's exactly the truth. So I think it was wrong, ab initio. But right now, it is time for us to put our hands together to reorganize the things that had gone wrong and make everybody happy.
Right.
Because we're all one Nigeria.
So what's the next step?
The next step, like I said, is for us, with the help of our people, to put Southeast first, our house in order. Then we'll come to the national to say the things that are going on that are wrong, we should speak the truth.
And part of that national thing, having put your house in order, is what you were saying when we were on a break, which is giving the Southeast a shot at the president.
That's right. And making sure that every other time appointments are being given.
Is it
you
more
don't treat people. You don't treat people as if they don't matter. Their lives don't matter. They don't matter. Their voice don't matter. It is absolutely wrong.
Do you consider that a greater priority, or restructuring Nigeria a greater priority for the benefit of not some but the whole country?
Let me say one thing here and here clearly. It is pertinent for us to note that the actual problem of Nigeria, our people continue to miss. The three major tribes of Nigeria.
Unfortunately, I wanted a very brief answer, and you've made it a bit longer. I apologize, but I've really got to go because we're out of time. But I want to thank you very much indeed, Reverend Uche Nwole, who's a pastor and former member of the House of Representatives and a supporter of Governor Hope Uzodimma. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
You're watching the Arise interview. Plenty more still ahead, including an urgent warning from Nigeria's Academy of Medicine Specialists. Beware of a third wave of the coronavirus hitting the country on the back of a new variant coming from India. Stay with us.